Everyone who has some interest in sports and judo in particular knows his name. He is famous in Georgia, where he was born, in Ukraine, where he became a famous athlete, and in international competitions that he still takes part in. Georgii Zantaraia doesn't need any introduction. Meet the only world judo champion in the history of Ukraine in our program. It's not necessary to be a big champion. First of all, sports should make you a good person. Judo courses, and I think not only judo, but sports clubs in general, make a good man out of a boy and form a great, healthy team around such an individual. Zodiac sign: Libra. Animal: tiger. Favorite season: summer. Georgi was born in the town of Gali, near Sukhumi, in 1987. His father was a deputy director in the forestry enterprise back then, and his mother worked as a doctor and head of an ambulance service. They lived in prosperity, but because of the Abkhaz-Georgian conflict, the Zantaraia family was forced to leave their home. Georgi's father, Malkhaz, used to study in the Agriculture Academy in Kyiv. That is why he decided to turn to his Ukrainian friends for help. In 1994, their family moved to Kyiv. Here, Georgi went to school, where he specialized in history.
Долго я не занимался спортом никаким, потому что дома у нас никто не спортсмен.
I hadn't been into sports for a long time. We had no athletes in our family, and no one took us to sport clubs. But in a moment, everyone started attending a judo club when it was opened in our school, and it was the only sports club there. My neighbor invited me and talked me into attending judo lessons by lending me his bicycle. I went to judo class and have stayed in judo ever since.
Я не помню, велосипед он мне там дал или что-то. Я пошел на дзюдо, и вот я остался в нем.
Georgi's parents remember that for a long time their son couldn't decide what hobby he was interested in. By the age of 10, he began searching for his calling in life.
Футбол хотел, по его разговорам.
First, he wanted to play football, according to his words. Then he wanted to play the guitar, then chess. And we hired all those teachers. We found a guitar teacher, and he took some lessons. Then he said he wanted to play chess. The same again. After that, he said he wanted to play basketball, despite his small height. Georgi's interests were encouraged, but his mother was monitoring his academic performance more attentively. She thought that her first child would be into science and maybe become a doctor, just like she did. My mom is a very strict person, and every 3 days she visited my school to check my grades. Once I came home and my teachers were there, I thought, what's going on here? I still keep in touch with my teachers. I even became a godfather of my class teacher's granddaughter. I get on with them very well.
Внучку моей классной руководительницы, я с ними очень хорошо общаюсь.
But judo replaced many other of Georgi's activities. In the end, his younger brother Toto, who also used to do judo, became a doctor. The mother of Georgi and Toto had to put up with Georgi's choice, but she is grateful to sports for her son's development. It excited him so much and taught him to concentrate and take some responsibility in life. But for sports, I can hardly imagine who he would become, because he is very fast and nimble, and it's not easy for people with such a physique to lead an ordinary life. When Georgi was almost 16, he won the Cadet European Judo Cup and decided that he would take up this sport professionally. Then he became the winner of the Ukrainian Judo Cup and was invited to join the national team. In 2008, he qualified for the Olympics in Beijing, but in the end, it was decided to select a more experienced athlete. At the age of 20, Georgi was thinking about quitting sports, but his coach Vitaly Dubrova talked Georgi into one more year of training. And in 2009, Georgi's time came. At the European Judo Championship in Tbilisi, he became the winner of the 60-kilogram weight class. Then, with confidence, he went to the World Championship. When I went there, I told my coach, I'll beat them, and in the morning, right before the competition, I said, I'll beat them. They were surprised to hear that, but I won. After my victory, I didn't talk so ballsy. At the World Championship, Georgii Zantaraia finished all his 6 fights before the end of the match. In the finals, he beat Japanese Hiroaki Hiraoku in 1 minute and 9 seconds to become the first world judo champion in the history of independent Ukraine. Georgi became hugely popular not only among athletes. Everyone knows Georgii Zantaraia. Everybody comes up to him, says hello and takes pictures. People don't take pictures with me so far, but they always say hello. Once a police officer came to me. I looked at him and he looked at me. I thought that I must have done something wrong. However, nothing came to my mind. But then he said, "Can I take a photo with you? You are Zantaraia." At the World Championships, Georgii Zantaraia has won 5 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver and 3 bronze. He also won the title of the European Judo champion, but somehow it didn't work out for him in the Olympic Games. The Olympics in London and Rio de Janeiro ended for Georgi after the first fights. For some reason, he didn't have much luck at the Olympics. What is more, it seems to me that it's sports for mature people. There are a lot of psychological aspects. I guess he wasn't ready for his first and second Olympics. Different people take it differently. I think he was in good physical shape, but morally, he didn't overcome his difficulties. I didn't win a medal, though I don't consider myself to be a weak athlete. And in fact, whether I win an Olympic medal or not, I won't move higher or lower in the world ranking. My name will stay there, because I'm already at the top. You have to be realistic. If it was difficult to win the medal at the age of 24, it will be a bit more difficult at the age of 32, I guess. Now I have a year ahead, and if step by step I'll manage to get to Tokyo, I'll be there and hopefully return home with a medal. Now it's an Olympic medal. Happiness. World peace. Love. It's my family. They say if you want to know a person better, you should meet their family. For Georgi, who is a true Georgian, his family is his everything. He had lived with his parents and brother in a one-room apartment for many years. Georgi's cherished dream was to build a large house with a fireplace like he had in his hometown, Gali. When all the Zantaraias gather together near the fireplace, they always pay tribute to their relatives. There are a few generations in this photo from their family album. This photo must be 200 years old. This is my grandmother and my grandfather. What were their names? Misha and Venera. They were from my mother's side. Oh my god, 100 years have passed. The youngest Zantaraia, David, is 4 years old. He is so restless, just like his father. And of course, he does judo. Georgi's wife is also a judoka, the champion of Europe. Now Olga works as a children's coach and her son is her student. David also attends dancing, skiing and acrobatics lessons. Let's go hands up and back. Look at your hands. Put your hands on the floor. Here you are. Well done. And now turn over. Super. Well done. You see, you've done great. Georgi and Olga have been together for 11 years, and they have known each other since childhood. They trained together. Calm and modest Olga was even a little bit afraid of blustery Georgi and couldn't see him as her potential boyfriend. But a train trip changed everything. We went to the competitions and were coming back home together. My coach chose us seats next to each other. I was shy, while he, on the contrary, was more sociable. During that train trip, he drove me nuts with his questions, and I simply ran away from them. I moved to another seat, but later he started calling and texting me. That's the way our story continued. I'm lucky that my wife is an athlete, and she understands where I go and why. She doesn't tend to ask when I will come back, and she knows when it's better not to bother me, particularly when I'm tired. We can understand each other better than, for example, I could understand a person who is not into sports. In addition to that, my wife also tries to train me. Favorite dish? I don't know, I eat everything. Favorite drink? I guess just ordinary water. Favorite city? Kyiv. Because it's my home. People often turn to Georgi for help, and he's always ready to lend his hand. He doesn't like to make it public, but information about his charity activity appears in the media from time to time. For example, Zantaraia donated the money he received as the best Kyiv athlete of 2016 for treatment of a girl whose father was a judo coach. And there is a whole host of such similar stories. He is compassionate. If someone calls him even at night, he will go there to help. That is the most important trait he has. And he is also very persistent, to the point of being even stubborn. Zantaraia gives master classes all over the world, including in the US, Canada and Peru. He is considered to be one of the most technically skilled judokas of our time. That is why many schools and clubs are eager to learn his skills. I travel a lot. They invite me just to see how I fight, even though I fight just like everyone else. Now I try to spend more time at home, but if I had such a wish, I could go and compete 4 times a month on different continents around the world. Georgi hasn't decided yet what he will do after the end of his sports career. He earned degrees in law and pedagogy. Georgi has a lot of plans. He doesn't really want to become a coach, although he doesn't rule out this position. Georgi hopes that more great athletes will appear in his native Ukraine. The fact that he is the first and the only world judo champion in the country upsets him, more than it makes him happy. But now, when Georgii Zantaraia has a dream to become an Olympic champion, we would like to wish him patience and strength on the way towards realizing his ultimate dream.